Hey guys, thank you for joining us today. I'm joined by Lady Frost. Hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you over there?
I'm very good, thank you. Just a pre-warning as well, I've got a cat somewhere around me, so you might get an appearance every now and then.
I love it.
Yeah,
Bonus.
she's going crazy at the moment. She's got this thing where she doesn't care until I hit record, and then it's like it's her time.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Those are cats for you.
Oh, she's a nightmare. I love her, but she's a nightmare. So, but obviously, I know I just mentioned obviously the pandemic. How are you doing in all this at the moment?
Things are getting better over here, but life has been crazy. We moved from Baltimore to Philadelphia and then back to Pittsburgh. You probably don't know where any of those places are. Maybe you do.
I've flown from Philadelphia, I think, or to Philadelphia. Yeah. So I went to All In Chicago. We flew from Chicago to Philadelphia to Heathrow. So I've been in Philadelphia's airport, but that's about it.
Okay.
A beautiful sight from the sky, all lit up, I must admit. But
right, when you're on the ground in Philadelphia, not so nice. Not a good place to be.
Well, fair enough. It was we flew at night, so obviously when you're taking off and all the places lit up, it looked beautiful. And all I kept thinking was, I wonder if I can see the ECW arena. But I just no idea where I'm looking. But that's all that I thought of was the ECW arena. That was it.
Yeah, you just expected to see like a flashing red sign.
That's it. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to see. So, obviously, I mean, you'd be managing to get in the ring still as well, I'm presuming.
Am I able to?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've still been getting in the ring, getting booked.
A little bit. I'm just coming back from injury, so I haven't been in the ring for about 6 weeks. So, I'm actually heading back to training this week. And then I have a show booked in 2 weeks. So we'll see how that goes.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I did see GCW Fight Forever, which you was a part of. I tried to stay up for the whole 24 hours. I failed. But I got about 18 hours. I saw yourself. What was that experience like?
That was wild. So we didn't get to be there for the full 24 hours just because there were so many wrestlers and you could only have so many people in the locker room. But it was wild. It was different. It's really weird without an audience, and then the energy is just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, obviously I miss the fans very much.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Like, their Game Changer puts on a hell of a show every time. I mean, they're great from production to staff to everything. They're professional. So it was a good time. It was a good show. I'm glad that I was a part of it for sure.
What time did you wrestle?
Shoot, what time did I wrestle? I think it was like noon, maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's not too bad then.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. And the same thing for Tampa. I'll be back with Alley Cat's Hot Girl Shit. That's the show name, for Game Changer. And again, the show was at noon on a Friday. So, which is also weird. I feel like we're just so used to wrestling in the evening. Like, I'm not even awake yet and I'm punching people in the face. Like, good morning, what?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I wish I could do that at my job sometimes, believe me.
Yeah, right.
It be...
Do you know how many people are like, I envy you because you can just kick someone in the head and it's fine?
Man, I envy that. Believe me, I really do. I work at a hospital, so I think it'd be frowned upon if I did that. But
yeah.
But yeah, no, GCW. Sorry,
it would be frowned upon.
It would be. And we spoke to Billy Starks a few weeks ago as well, so you can maybe confirm this. Just how cold was it at GCW?
It was freezing. So I'm not going to complain. I can't complain. But I had new entrance gear, right, with like the ice crystals.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I was debuting it. And they were supposed to light up inside the ice crystals, but it was so cold for the duration of the time that I was in there that it froze and they would not light up. I was like, the irony here.
Wow. I mean, she said it was freezing, but that's really cold. It was really cold. They did have a couple heaters down by the ring, but backstage it was cold. I mean, it's hard to get your body warmed up and get
quickly because, you know, there was no ring time to kind of like warm up in ring or anything.
Yeah.
So you're literally going out cold. It was yeah.
Wow. Obviously, you mentioned Alley Cat as well. Obviously, Tampa and stuff. Is that Mania weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, are you excited for that? That must be something to look forward to.
I am. It's different. So this will actually be our first time going down for Mania weekend. The first Mania weekend, I wasn't wrestling. Like I was brand new. And last year it would have been the first time and everything got shut down. So this is kind of technically the first time that I'm able to go there. But I feel like it always seems like a big deal on the independent scene. You know, it's like where to be. It's like the cool spot. So, we have some announcements coming up. I really didn't want to take anything that wasn't important, I suppose. I didn't just want to take bookings just to take bookings and go down there. So, but we got a couple important ones. So I think it'll be cool to be there for the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously working with Alley Cat, like you said, I mean, she's another girl making a big name for herself as well. I mean, have you got to work with her much?
Yeah. And I have a great opponent. I don't know if you're familiar with Still Life, but now she is Edith Surreal. So we had a really good match the first time. We wrestled last year, actually. So looking forward to seeing what happens this time around.
Oh, well, we're actually speaking to Edith next week.
Awesome.
So we'll bring that up. We'll get her opinion as well. We'll see what she has to say.
Just right. Tell her I said awful things about it. I was just gonna beat her up in a couple weeks.
Of course.
Yeah, right.
Don't worry about that. All I'm going to do for the entire interview is just talk about that. So don't worry about that. But are you going to try and go to WrestleMania as well? Or I mean, because they're on about getting 45,000 fans in, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't really think that's my jam. I don't know. We're meeting a couple friends down there that are fans. They're not wrestlers, so we'll see. I mean, I can always be persuaded, but right now we do not have plans to attend any shows. We're gonna wrestle and probably just drive home.
To be fair, that sounds good to me as well. I like to be at home, so that sounds good to me. Do what I've got to do and get home. That's perfect for me. I'm going to ask you as well about Pretty Proper, Victor Benjamin.
Yes.
How did that come about as well? Because I love it.
So that's my real life husband.
Yes.
Yeah. So we didn't really have a choice in that matter because we've been together this week it'll be 5 years actually. So he's been wrestling for 5 years and I kind of just attended a show and was like, what in the world is this? Like, this is wild. I had no idea what any of like independent wrestling was. And I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Where's my video? Okay, there you are.
I can see it. Don't be sorry. Honestly, I feel for you. You've got to look at this, so don't worry about that.
But yeah, so I attended a show and I was just like, this is so weird. And a little girl came up to me with those big beady eyes and she was like, can I have an autograph? And I was no one. Like I was his girlfriend at the time. And it was over. I was like, whatever you want. Have this, take this. Like, I got sucked in, but I was a gymnast. I was a dancer. I was a diver, everything. So once I got in the ring, it was pretty like, it made sense. But my second match ever was an intergender tag match. And I think I love that so much more. And maybe it was the comfort, the security blanket, but like he's my person. He's strong and I'm acrobatic. So we have this really unique blend of things that just work and you don't have to force the chemistry. It was just like, this is awesome. We get to fight people together for a living. So we were already traveling together, whether we're a tag or solo. So just, it worked out and caught on. I think the gimmick kind of evolved, but it's us in the fact that it's traditional. It's, you know, man and wife, and we are sort of traditional that way, where I'm a lady, he's a gentleman. And that in itself, I feel like can garner heat if you toe the line of like being that kind of couple, right? You're just like, you flaunt it, you're in people's face with that, but it's really fun. I do enjoy tag wrestling a lot.
Yeah, obviously, you mentioned obviously intergenders. I know you wrestled Bear Country, didn't you? I mean,
yes.
What was that like? 'Cause that's two big dudes.
So I know like we're bad guys, we're heels all the time, but like we absolutely adore them. I always try to like speak everyone's praises that we enjoy working with, and they were fantastic. They were fun. They're talented, easy to get along with, like just a joy to be around. And that's refreshing, especially when, you know, I love seeing them getting opportunities now, and I hope they're on TV for everyone to enjoy their chaos.
Yeah, I mean, obviously as well, you mentioned intergender wrestling, because that's sometimes a hot topic. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? I personally, I'm a fan. I think there's a place for it. Well, what's your thoughts on obviously being competing in it?
I mean, if I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So clearly I'm an advocate, but I always say there's just so much room for storytelling, because you have different elements, different working pieces, and different body types. It doesn't matter. You're just wrestling at that point. It's not really, you take out the element of expectation with body type and size and everything else. You fight,
No, I totally agree. I mean, we spoke to Chris Dickinson a few months ago, just after he had that match with Priscilla Kelly at Beyond.
Yep.
And it was one of the best matches I've seen in a hell of a long time. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm all for it. I think it's a fantastic thing to watch and to see. So I'm all for that.
I think you have to be a good storyteller, and you really have to open your mind up and get rid of preconceived notions, right? Like there are guys that are smaller than me, and well, I'm 5 foot tall, so not many, but like Marco, stop maybe. I love you, Marco, if you ever hear this. But no, I mean, there are women larger than my husband. There's just I don't know. It doesn't matter anymore to me. And I think a lot of people are on board with that. And I think it's going to happen sooner than later, that it's going to start hitting television, and you'll see some of that.
Yeah, no, I hope so as well. Another company as well I wanted to talk to you about. It's someone we follow quite closely. That's Shimmer.
Who?
Shimmer.
Human?
Shimmer.
She-Man. I don't know who you're saying. Do I not know them?
It's my accent. Shimmer. Shimmer.
Oh, Shimmer. Ah! What?
It's my accent.
Thank you for spelling that out.
Yeah, what's it like been working for them as well? Because I think they're one of my favourite companies. We follow them closely. Yeah, we're Ringsiders.
Yeah, I actually I did a couple seminars, and I had a few matches. Nothing that was announced. I wasn't on any posters or anything. I haven't been wrestling that long, so it takes a little while, I feel like, to work your way into a company with such prestige.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of females in one place. So for the audience, it's great. For locker room purposes, it's intimidating too, especially when you're green. You see all of these incredible wrestlers, and you're like, holy cow, there's so many of you in one place.
Yeah, we love it. It's what I said. They actually follow us as well, and we're hoping to do some like work and speak to some of their guys at some point as well, which are just big fans. And one of the girls as well, I'm sure she's wrestling over there, is Mariah May. I know you teamed with Mariah in the UK. Yeah, Mariah's a friend of the show. I've had her on before. What was your experience of wrestling in the UK like?
So I loved being over there. Mariah was fantastic. I loved her. She was such a sweetheart. I had a blast. It was really bizarre because usually I only work heel or Achilles. Is that what it is in London? Yes. So I had to wrestle as a babyface, and I had to come out to her music, and we couldn't be more opposite. Probably in real life too, but like as wrestling characters, like I was just like, what am I doing? She's doing her poses and she's all glamorous, and I'm like, holy cow. So it was like just such a weird mashup, but she was sweet. It was fun. I cannot wait to come back. Hopefully I get invited back soon.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is that on your radar to come back to the UK then as well? So
it is. And if intergender wrestling is happening there, I would love to get pretty proper over there. And then, we get a little vacation together, and then we put pretty proper on the map over there as well.
Oh, it's happening. It happens over here, honestly. And we tell everybody this as well. There's probably a promotion now in nearly every city in this country. It's just everywhere you go. So there'd be no issue getting booked at all. You'd probably be here for about 3 or 4 months. There's that many promotions. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, you know, get yourselves over here. We'll get the name out as well because we know a few people over here. So we can make sure we say, hey, look, check these guys out as well. So
Awesome.
we'll put the word out. We'll put the word out. But I'm guessing, obviously, you mentioned that. I'm guessing you prefer playing heel then to babyface.
We do. It's just, I think it's more natural for both of us, and that's kind of where the gimmick took us. I don't know. I mean, as a wrestler, you want to fulfill whatever the promoter needs on the show. If they ask me to work babyface, I will. I don't prefer it, but I do have a lucha flippy style arsenal, so I feel like people wanted to push me that way, and meeting me in person, I guess they're like, oh, you'd be a great babyface. I'm like, no, I'm terrible. Once I get in the ring, I cannot cut a babyface promo. I'm awful. And working babyface is really hard. Like, I just have a terrible face. Like, it's just mean when I'm in the ring. Like, yeah, I don't know what happens when I get in there, but like, we're bad guys, and that's what's natural. So,
but it's more fun as well. I mean, we all want to be a dick and get away with it, right?
I guess maybe because, like, I don't know, I do enjoy helping people. Like, in real life, I'm of service to people.
Yeah.
And I would rather be known as a good person, like in real life. You could tell me I'm a shitty wrestler, or I'm bad at this, or I can't do this, but I do want people to be able to trust me and see me as a good human. But in the wrestling world, it's like, I don't know, I'm just a bad guy. That's
you want to
fine.
be hated, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, touching back on the UK as well, so I know you wrestled for BEW, British Empire Wrestling.
Yep.
Is there any other companies you'd like to work for over here? I think you do great at Pro Wrestling Eve. Right.
That was the one I was going to say. I know I haven't looked up a lot of companies, but Pro Wrestling Eve is definitely on the radar. I know we've been back and forth on Twitter. So that would be one of the top companies that I would reach out to if we were going to make a little trip over there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's so many over here. You kind of lose count now, but we've not actually had a show since last March. It's been a year since we've had any shows. I think there's an independent show booked for August, so fingers crossed we might get something back in August. But we've gone a year now, and it's the US indies have kept us going. I mean, we love the indies anyway, but it's allowed us to fall in love even more with like the US indies. We've discovered new talent. I mean, how well do you think the indies have done over there in the States? I think they've kept the wrestling business going.
I think so too. I think everyone kind of found creative or innovative ways to keep it alive. I mean, I think a lot of wrestlers are addicted, so they can't go without this.
Yeah.
So they'll find a way, and I think we did a great job. I think Chikara started it. Regardless of what anyone says about anything, they were the innovators. They started with the tapings with no audience before anyone did that, and then it just kind of caught on. And I think IWTV has a lot of great companies under their umbrella, and them putting on the Masked Wrestler was something that kind of like set fire to the independent world. It was so unique. It was creative. It was relatable to content that was currently on television. And it was so much fun to be a part of that. Wrestling in a mask was terrible, but it was definitely a great idea. And I think people felt safe with no audience, and they still got to do what they love and get it out there for the world. So it was very important to keep it alive.
Yeah, I mean, IWTV's been an absolute savior for us over here. I mean, $9.99 for a month, and you look at what you're getting. It's just incredible.
Everything. You get everything. The good, bad, and the ugly. All of it.
Absolutely. I mean, we actually spoke to Warhorse last night. And that was fun. That was fun.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And he was just saying, we said the same thing to him, you know, IWTV is really, it's reignited almost a big love for independent wrestling over here in the UK. It's just been an absolute godsend for us to have IWTV.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah, I mean, I've had only good experiences with them, and I really think I mean, I don't know what independent wrestling would be without them, honestly.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's great. It's getting overseas, and you do get to really experience new wrestlers, new talent, and even me, I'm like, who is this person?
That's
You
it.
just get, and it's great because you do see a lot of the same wrestlers on the same shows over and over and over. And yeah, you want to be a part of that crew, but at the same time, it's like I'm tired of seeing the same 10 people on every big show.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everyone's arsenal now. Like, I've seen you 57 times in 2 weeks. Like, give me a fresh face, someone that, you know, we're not used to. And I'm a big promo gal. Like, if you can invoke emotion through spoken word, I think it's important. You know, there's a lot of wrestlers that are insanely talented, but they get on the mic and you're like, oh no, like, I don't believe you.
No, I totally agree with you. Promos, you know, for me personally, I've always said the greatest promo for me ever is Mick Foley, because when Mick Foley speaks, my God, the emotions he elicits and you believe are just incredible. So I'm totally with you on that as well. The importance of promos.
I don't think there's enough emphasis on that. If there's one thing I could say about independent wrestling, I think, and that's on the promoters also. Some ask for promos, some, you know, they just let people get away with cutting a shitty promo or no promo at all to hype the match up.
Yeah.
Because video packages are such a big deal, and independent wrestlers are getting away with putting a video package together with all these cutscenes and music and flashes, and they can't actually tell a story through their words. And I think that's what's lacking compared to what's on television.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Totally agree. I want to be drawn in. I want you to give me a reason why I want to see you two go at it. You know, I go back, like I said a minute ago, Mick Foley. Every time Mick Foley spoke, I was hooked. You know, he got some kind of an emotion out of me from his words. And
yeah, absolutely.
That's it. Yeah. Obviously, I have to mention as well AEW Dark. I mean, what was the whole AEW experience like?
Sorry, someone in my eye. I had a really great time. They were really long nights, but we got to train with Dustin Rhodes before the show. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but he was fantastic. He works with the women. And it was a great atmosphere backstage. Like, I felt like I could just say hello to anyone.
Yeah.
When you work at WWE, especially, I mean, I was, again, very green and didn't know anyone, but you feel like you're walking around like, should I wait? Should I bother you? But again, AEW, I feel like I had worked so many shows with people backstage too, that it was like, I just saw you 6 months ago, or I just worked a show with you last year, or I just had a match with you. So it felt chill to me, right? It was more relaxed, and you can just ask for feedback. But definitely a different vibe. It was cool. I liked it a lot.
Obviously, just touching on him as well, you mentioned getting to work with Dustin. I mean, what was that experience like? I've always said the nickname The Natural is the most perfect nickname for that guy.
Right. He's so easy to be around, I feel like. I'm a hugger. I think, like, not pandemic wise, but like everyone was tested and everything, but I like someone that's inviting, that makes it sort of like, hey, we're in this together. How you doing? Here's a hug. Like, he's so friendly. He's so almost available to everyone for knowledge, for suggestions, everything. He was fantastic. Like, I would love to be there just to train under him, you know?
I mean, and he's like, what is he now? He's 51 and he's in his prime. I mean, he's just incredible.
Right. And I always, like, I just tweeted out yesterday with Shazza McKenzie that, you know, this black cloud of age for women. It's, I don't know. I mean, I'm not discouraged, I would say, but, you know, I've definitely had that feedback where I was too old, and I almost would love to get somewhere now so you can give like a little F you nod. Like, I feel like I'm in a condition of someone in my 20s. I don't look my age per se. I've been healthy. I do the right things. I take care of my body. I treat myself like an athlete because I am. And I really don't care what people say about age at this point. Like, it doesn't matter. So,
I'm with you on that one. I'm 37 next week, so I'm with you on that one. I don't care about age anymore. It's just a number. It really is.
It's how you feel. It's how you perform. It's how you treat people. I think there are so many things that are more important than age, honestly.
Absolutely. Just mentioning Dark as well. I mean, how important do you think Dark has been for like the independent talent? Because they've really given a platform.
Yes, I really think that's the other factor in indie wrestling right now that kept it alive, because you did get to see a lot of great talents, and it was something to strive for, right? It was somewhere to be when there's no live audience wrestling. Not that there's really live audiences there, but they started sprinkling people in and other wrestlers around the ring, and it was just the biggest showcase that you could get to when the world was shut down. It was like there was no better place to be. That was the mecca of indie wrestling. So I kudos to them for paying their talent and bringing new talent in each week. And now they're just expanding with the Dark shows. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Totally agree. Before I wrap up and start to let you go as well, what's the plans for 2021? I mean, if the world opens, is the plans? What's the goals?
So I always tell people this, like, I don't set hard goals because nothing ever works out the way that you really want it to anyways.
Yeah.
I think everyone has that idea of where they would like to be, but what's important to me is being happy and feeling wanted somewhere. I don't want to work somewhere where I'm miserable or unwanted or unused or any of those things.
Yep.
I think value is very important. I can make money doing a lot of things. So money isn't really, like, more money is always great, right? But I would rather be somewhere where I would be utilized, or especially if it was an intergender tag, like, that's the goal for us, to be signed as Pretty Proper somewhere, right? But is that going to happen anytime soon? I don't know. I don't think so. So for us, it's just kind of like wherever fits, that we're happy, that we can keep doing this. London is definitely on the goal list for both of us, because I enjoyed it so much. I want to go there together. So travel more, I suppose.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, that's the same for us. We're desperate to get back over to the States. So I'm totally with you on that one. And we'd love to see you over here as well. We'll be front row whenever you guys come across, because we go to as much wrestling as we can. So we'll be there. Before we let you go as well, I mean, do you want to let everyone know where they can find you, social media, any merchandise?
I am Real Lady Frost across the board, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It is it's just Lady Frost .big cartel. Lady Frost on Pro Wrestling Tees, and the patreon.com/prettyproper. That's a dual Patreon. We do like workouts, food, weird things. There's no like sexy bikini photos of both of us. Like it's pretty proper, like pun intended. But if you've ever followed Victor Benjamin's page, there's peanut butter. There's a plethora of peanut butter on everything. So you'll get
peanut butter's awesome. I can totally.
Yeah, right. It's bizarre that quarantine invoked like all of his peanut butter platoon followers. It was wild. Like, I don't know, whatever takes off, right? Like whatever people gravitate towards, like, cool. And that's a real thing. Like, that's him at home all of the time. It has nothing to do with Pretty Proper or the Savage Gentleman, but you get the realness there.
Awesome. Well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to tell you right now as well, tell Victor to check his DMs, because he'll be getting a message at some point, because we'd love to talk to him as well.
Awesome.
But, we'd love to get you back as well at some point as well. That's cool with you.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. You enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll speak to you again soon. Lady Frost, thank you.
Thank you.